Hey everyone, it's me Gavin and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving back into Goddess of Victory NIKKE for the hard mode bonus scene of Sin Editor, our currently ongoing event that I've been very much enjoying. I will say it's been a little bit more lighthearted and definitely not as depressing as most other events have been in recent times, but at the same time we've been very much enjoying it. Getting to meet Label, who's definitely a very quirky character. She's got a lot of different mannerisms about her that could be a little bit much for some people, as she is very forward, but at the same time she's really cool. Great looking character, and she's definitely useful in PvP from what we know, right? So again, a fantastic addition. I'm expecting to possibly get a little bit of like a tease in terms of lore, and maybe even a little bit of a foreshadowing as to what's to come, I guess, in the future of NIKKE. Very much looking forward to unpacking that with you guys here today. If you guys are new to the channel, however, I would highly encourage you to please subscribe for more Goddess of Victory NIKKE content, and then also you could join us for the live streams. Whenever I go live, you'll get a notification, all that good stuff, right? So that's what we like. And then also, speaking of likes, if you want to give the video a thumbs up, appreciate it very much, as it helps tremendously. But that being said, let's dive into it.
Goddess of Victory, NIKKE.
Alright, we are back in the hard mode bonus scene. It should be available now, right? We're just gonna have to play through the entirety of it, which shouldn't take horribly long, and then we'll probably progress to do like our dailies and so on and so forth, and sit here and talk about all things NIKKE as we normally do. As you guys can see, the flashy little new symbol over here on the right hand side, that means that it is updated. We are good to go. So I guess we will get into that at some point in the very near future. Again, if you guys are only joining us now, then be warned, there will be spoilers of some capacity, considering the fact that the story is completed. And as always, we will be going through the entirety of it. Well, I guess it's just the hard mode bonus scene this time around, so it's not the entire story. But rest assured that if you have not experienced the main portion of it, then I would highly encourage you to do so before watching the stream or watching this video, whatever it may be, whatever form you're watching right now. Again, I'm just gonna go through the shop stuff like I normally would and all that stuff before I get on with it. So obviously, you know, this way of doing things is not as concise as constructed and edited videos like I normally put up on the channel, but we've been doing streams over here and it's been going pretty good for the most part the last little while. So that's what we're kind of aiming for, right? Going forth, all that stuff. But yeah, that's what it's gonna be. Let's head on into the Sin Editor and see what the new splash art looks like and all that good stuff too, right? I should get one for hard mode. But before I do so, I should probably go and purchase the extra stamps, right? Stamp, stamp, stamp. There you go, spending my gems all willy-nilly for you guys, okay? I do it for you. Hard mode difficulty is censored apparently, and ooh, it looks like we're going through some files here. I don't know if that's an indicator of what we're gonna see here for the hard mode bonus scene or not, but could be something racy. Maybe, I don't know. Again, I want to know from you guys as well if your pulls went good, if you decided to pull for Label. I don't know if you guys have or not. I feel like maybe she's coming at a time of recuperation for a lot of players, because we kind of went ham with Snow White, right? It was a very sought after unit, especially after everybody tested her and got to see just how useful she was in combat, which is incredibly useful. Definitely a very pulled on unit. So Label following that banner, probably going to be a little bit less revenue overall, I would assume. She's a really cool looking character though. She has great assets and a fantastic background for all of us gooners out there, as everybody puts it. She looks great. I can't help but to say it. She just looks great. And again, she is useful in PvP, so if you are a PvP focused player, then a great addition to your roster for sure. Or maybe you're just like me and you're trying to complete the NIKKEpedia and staying up to date with it and making sure that you're not missing any units. another great thing to do is to pull for all characters, right? And that way you have access to them. Welcome back to the stream, Alex. How are you today? Hope you're having a good one. Very, very much appreciate the support as I do every single day. Thank you. You are a tremendous person, and you are a valuable person to have here on the stream. Appreciate it. Apparently Stream Elements is running a bot. Imagine that. Cool, man. I had no idea that was even set up, but apparently it's working, so cool. Awesome. Must have been something that happened with the update that I did before I started to stream. That's what it is. I'm gonna have to make sure that that's hidden from the channel from here on in, I guess, but cool. I mean, things are working. That's good, right? The stream is functioning better than it has been in recent days, so that's good. Very excited to see how the scene plays out, though. I wonder if we're gonna get a tease, or if we're just gonna get, like, comedy, you know? It could go one of two ways, I think. It's gonna be definitely either a lore bomb of some sort, or tease for the future. That's gonna be very, like, lore heavy, or it's gonna be something comedic with, Label just being very deprived and secluded. Yeah, I'm thinking that as well, because of the splash art, and then the whole, like, it's almost like we're going through her folders on her computer. That's probably not a good thing. That's a breach of privacy is all I'm gonna say, okay? You probably don't want to do that. Unless you want to end up, you know, in a hairy situation is all I'm saying. Like stumble upon some stuff you're not asking for too. That's another thing I could say. Probably don't be browsing to people's personal files is all I'm saying. It's a risky business move there. I don't know. But I have had a very interesting day today. I woke up and it seems like we're in a never-ending blizzard. It was a blizzard again today, and this time around it was like incredibly blizzardy. I could not see at all, so I went to leave to go to work, and I should have known when I stepped inside the house. I looked and I was like, it looks a little dangerous. I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? Well, I'll head down and I'll get a coffee before I hit the road, and maybe things will be fine. And as I was leaving the driveway, I'm like, I'm not getting back in my driveway. But I made my way down to my local Tim Hortons and got a coffee. And I couldn't roll down my window because it was froze shut, so I had to open up my door in order to get my coffee. That was another red flag. But as I was about to leave, like, town, going down through Main Street, I could not see any buildings quite literally, like, 5 meters from where I was.
Time to show what a female student.
So I decided maybe I'm gonna message my boss and say I'm not gonna make it into work until a little bit later today, and I did, and he's very understanding, so very, very appreciative of that as well. And he was like, yeah, if it's that bad, then, you know, you guys use your own judgment, and if you don't think you can make it in, then don't come in. I was like, well, we'll see how things are in an hour or two. So I came home and sat down and enjoyed my coffee. I wasn't able to get the van back in the driveway either. I should probably point that out. Half of the van was almost down to the road, and I didn't want to have the front end of my vehicle in the road because the snow plows probably would have taken the entire front of the van off. So I don't want to do that. So I got it in the driveway as much as I could before I shut it off, and then came in and enjoyed my coffee, and then I waited until daylight. Hello, Commander. Thank you very much for coming back to the stream and supporting as well. I really appreciate you. I will continue story now, but I hope you're having a great day as well. It was not safe to drive by any means, no. So when daylight came around, it was like a couple hours later, and then I'm looking outside and I'm like, man, it still doesn't really look safe to drive.
Time to show what a female.
But things should be kind of flowing now, so maybe I'll take a chance and just see, possibly. And if it gets bad enough, I'll try to turn around somewheres and then come back home. So I left, and about 10 minutes into the drive, I couldn't see anything. And I'm like, wow, There's already this very nervous driver in front of me in a truck that's like stopping
That concludes
very
today's
rapidly
lesson.
and probably should not be on the road. But I'm an experienced driver. I've been doing this for a couple of years, so I'll keep seeing how things go. Like the area I was in is normally fairly unsafe when there's any kind of like winter activity going on. So I'm like, you know what? I know if I get past this point, it should clear up. It cleared up a little bit, like marginally. And then I got to the next place that was a complete whiteout, and I was like, all right, well, I'm this far already. I may as well see what the highway is like. I got to the highway, and then the highway was a complete whiteout, and I'm like, I probably should have turned around by now, but I'm already this far, so I'll try to go a little bit further. And when I did, miraculously, it cleared up in the areas where it's normally not clear. So I was kind of like, well, that's odd. And it was fine the entire way into work. So anyways, needless to say, I get into work. I'm like a couple hours late. Start loading up the van full of like deliveries and everything. And I'm like, I'm not going to certain areas because I know how bad it is where I live. And the boss was very understanding, and he was like, yep, you do whatever you feel is best, and if it's safe, it's safe, and if you get somewhere that you can't make it, then, you know, leave it, and we'll get it tomorrow. So I'm like, okay, perfect, awesome, sounds good to me. And I ended up still like doing like 70-something deliveries a day, and I'm very tired, and my nerves are no better for the sake of you know, the story. So I got myself another coffee to try to stay awake, and here we are at the hard mode bonus scene, right? So I guess we'll dive into that, but that's my little story for today. All things considered, safe, sound, home, we're good. And here we are playing NIKKE, right? So I'm gonna have a little sip of this and try not to burn my lips, and then we'll go on with the hard mode bonus scene. Gems well spent. All right, let's move into it. Spoiler alert. After that incident, with Label's cooperation, I gathered accurate data on the Ark's food supply and other resources. You guys were right! They're talking about the supplies on the surface. You guys were right. You guys called it. I was unsure if they were going to be talking about supplies or not, but you guys were right. They are talking about food supplies and other resources. Going all the way back to the Ark's inception. Okay, we're getting a lore bomb. We're getting a lore bomb. Anderson talked about the Ark's inception. The amount of resources collected by the commanders, including myself, was absurdly low compared to our targets because the numbers were being altered by Label. It's a miracle the Ark has even survived this long. Thank you, Splendiman. What would happen if this fact became public? Chaos and panic, right? A sense of dread flashes through my mind. Wanting to clear up the doubts that have been piling up over the past few days, I go to see Ingrid, who's in charge of supplies and logistics. This could be bad, guys. Like, this could be catastrophic. You don't usually reach out first. So, what's this about? I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but Label told me about what she's been doing. Ooh, dude. She does not look impressed. I see. You're calmer than I expected. She's calm, but I feel like there's a lot of bottled fury. Well, this falls within what I anticipated. Okay, so she was expecting it? Alright. Once you got involved with Label, this was inevitable. Are you going to punish her? According to regulations, this can't be overlooked. Someone has to take responsibility. Then I'll... Right. I figured you'd say that. I'll let this one slide. You already know dozens of secrets that could shake the Ark to its core. That's true. That's a valid point. We've been harboring a lot of secrets and we haven't done any damage yet, as far as we know, right? Knowing one more won't affect its operations. Besides, I'm well aware of the burden that she carries. So she's being a little compassionate, right? From what I've heard, it doesn't seem like like you ordered it. That's right. It was Enoch's request. So why has Enoch been doing this? Well, obviously, again, right, to protect the people of the Ark. She concluded that releasing all incoming information to the Ark as is would have a severe impact on the citizens' mental state, and that's fact, that's true. I see. Is that all? Given how much preparation you've done, I doubt you came here with just one question. That's right. I explained to Ingrid what can reasonably be inferred from the data. I figure that, as the person in charge of the Ark's resources, you couldn't possibly be unaware of this. A sharp observation. I don't know why I said observation wrong, but, anyway. The Ark is a vast underground city. From the day it was built, humanity has sourced all manner of resources from the surface, not just electricity and food. However, the success rate of surface operations has remained low. As a result, the resources we obtain are woefully insufficient. We're consuming far more than we're gaining, so how long do we have? Precisely. This fact has been true since the Ark was first created. So far, we've somehow managed to maintain the Ark, thanks to the surplus resources brought in during the initial migration. Let me put it this way. Grossly insufficient supplies. Ever-increasing demand over time. If those two factors persist for decades or even centuries, what do you think will happen? We'll all perish? I'm sure you already know the answer. Yes. Everyone has turned a blind eye to this uncomfortable truth. But deep down, they all know you are not wrong. Insurrection, that is true. An uprising, right? The Ark doesn't have much time left. Yes, I do notice the typo. Holy shit, dude. There you go. There you go. That is a dark secret contained within these files. So the Ark is on borrowed time right now. Okay, essentially what they're saying is the panic is about to set in. Things are about to get very, very hairy if we do not go and reclaim the surface, right? So this is what everything is leading to. This is what it's all building towards. It quite literally amounts to us having to go to the surface to reclaim whatever we can to fight back against the Rapture threat in order to be able to acquire or even be able to not develop, but I guess kind of develop the land, right, in order to produce any sort of sustenance that we can in order to ensure the survival of humanity or whatever remains of it right within the Ark. There's a big task on our hands here. We've got a lot to take care of. It's a dire situation from what we can tell, right? That's not a good thing. That means that, again, we are on the clock right now. We've got to do the best that we can in order to ensure the survival of humanity. And the Ark is a ticking time bomb, essentially, right? Resources have dwindled for a very long time. They were already low to begin with, and we are consuming more now than ever of what's left, right? The scraps, the Splendiman scraps is all that's left. So we very much have a tall order ahead of us, right? We've ran out of time. We've ran out of time. There's the truth of it. That's the entire reasoning behind this event, is to let us know we're up the creek. Right, exactly. There you go. We develop a taste for rapture parts, which I'm sure a lot of us already have, kind of, right? We've been borrowing them. We've been authoring ourselves with rapture parts, so, you know, I guess, I don't know. But in saying that, hard mode bonus scene, not as comedic as we may have predicted, right? A little more serious. So there you go. We got a little bit of a lore bomb. Which again, it could have been one of two possibilities, and we kind of knew that just because of the nature of Label and her job, right? Makes sense, in my opinion. Makes sense to me, makes sense to you guys. Again, very not so alarming news, but there's a revelation for some people that may have not expected it, right?
Although I'd like to meet Enoch, I feel
sheesh, dude. That is not making things any easier, and it definitely makes the commander's duty and all of the expeditions to the surface a lot more important.
After seeing a game made by us,
it does. There's no way around it.
Never expected that I would.
There it is, man. What do you guys think of it? You guys think that was a good enough payoff for this event? Again, I know it's bite-sized because, you know, it's of a smaller nature anyways when it comes to I'm literally quite literally replacing the buff I just got. It literally makes me feel like it's an adequate enough conclusion or hard mode bonus scene, right? It's appetizing enough. Enough. Sorry. We definitely, well, I don't know, we're stealing our diet, but it's not good, man. Especially when you got people like Snow White up on the surface eating up all the resources, right? Snow White's not leaving anything on the surface for anybody else to eat. So we're gonna have to expand our searches even more broad. Okay? We got to make sure that there's little indicators or calling cards there for wherever Snow White's gotten to an area, so that way she can alert anybody. Don't worry, there's no food here. There's no sustenance anymore. I've already consumed it. But in all seriousness, I think this does tie into the whole surface reclamation minigame that's coming as well, right? So that feels like a great segue point for them to kind of go with that little tidbit of information, right? The Ark's resources are dwindling. People in the Ark are going to start starving if we don't take back the surface. We've got to make sure that we're bringing in some sort of resource or material or food supply or whatever else, right?
I'm glad that's all resolved.
So again, I feel like that's a great little point for them to make mention of, because then it adds a desire of sorts for players to want to, you know, especially if you're connected to the story, the lore of things, you're gonna want to experience that mode now, right? A little more, just because you're kind of like, I'm doing my job. I'm helping the people of the Ark. The citizens are gonna like me even more, even though I'm already very much liked because I'm the commander. Scarlet's potatoes. Yep, there you go. No more potato vodka is all I'm saying, right? Don't be making that potato vodka.
Has won another victory.
But yeah, 100%. We definitely need to help the Ark by making sure that we are taking back areas. And again, crap, my bad. I meant to go and do more dailies, but I'm on a thought process right now, train that I'm trying to get out there, and it's hard to put into words. But I'm happy with Sin Editor. I think it was a great event. I think it played out just as good as I could have anticipated. No, it wasn't like this massive, like,
Could you please?
Oh my god, you gotta play this event, but it adds enough information that it can be appreciated. And again, it's something we were kind of already aware of, but it's nice to have that, like, solid confirmation as well, right? That's just my own 2 cents. That's what I think. I think it was fantastic. And then Label's a really cool character that we're going to get another run-in with in the future as well, right? And then we'll get our comedy scene, our comedic elements kind of in between saying those two things, and then, you know, things get jumbled. But that's what we're looking at. Is looking pretty good, man. She's got a very important role, though, right? Like, even Ingrid understands the brevity of what she's dealing with. She understands that, yeah, it's not easy, so she'll let, you know, the slip up slide. And, of course, the commander, being the harborer of all the Ark's deepest, darkest secrets, hasn't really, like, caused chaos and panic within the Ark, realistically. Inside of, like, Dorothy, I guess, right? Or, not Dorothy, sorry, not Nihilister. All that stuff, but I mean, you know, that wasn't really us. That was more Exotic Squad than anything else. And yeah, anyways, I'm getting sidetracked with what I'm trying to say, but things are going pretty good. They're going pretty good. The Ark could be better. But we got a queen on our side now, so I mean, resources, we'll get that in no time. We got a queen on our side now. She just needs to be raised a little bit more, that's all. Dwarven Fortress section, possibly, I don't know. I don't know.
Water isn't too salty for ya.
But I feel like we're gonna reclaim the surface, or at least a good large portion of it. Especially with how the story's been playing out too, right? But we're definitely getting to see, like, a lot more background information as to how poorly planned out the Ark was as well, right? And then how poorly managed it was from central government, and then how naive all of its citizens are for believing every single thing that they see, and then how bad management really truly is because they're not letting them know that.
Did the Raptors ever take a vacation?
For lack of better words, as it was so aptly put in the Resident Evil movie, you're all going to die down here, because that's essentially what's gonna happen. And if I know anything about how savage things can get whenever it comes to lack of food sources and everything, things could get very grim in the Ark if we don't bring food. Cannibalism, possibly, and not so savory things like that. Maybe. Chaos and panic is the best way to title that, right? Especially if that news gets hit there that, hey, guess what? We're out of food! What do you mean we're out of food? What are we gonna eat? We can't go on the surface. We'll die up there. Well, you're gonna die down here too, so pick your spots, I guess, right? Choose your own destiny. Man, it is a grim situation. You got Lilith roaming around up on the surface, and you don't want to bump into her or bump into like Mirror or any of those people or any of the Raptures or. Sheesh, dude. We are up against it. We are up against it. We've got a purpose now, though, right? We've got even more motivation. Try to do our best on the surface. It looks like PvP reset, possibly. From the look of things.
Let the games debut on.
But anyway, that's what I think. I think it was a great event. I would give it a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 for the event. Yeah, I'd still rate it that highly. I think it was good.
Ready?
Good story moments, good character, good payoff in the end. And again, it kind of leaves us wondering like where things go from here, right? All in all, it's pretty damn good.
Ready?
No mini game or nothing to play, but we'll probably get that in the next patch or whatever too, right? You know, Valentine's is around the corner. We're gonna have like new NIKKEs introduced for that, more than likely. I'm going to say made iterations, of course.
Show and the road. Behold.
Yeah, that's true as well. The commander does not know what happened in Modernia yet with the encounter with Lilith and how that played out, which is not good. Commander's gonna definitely want some sort of vengeance. Something tells me, just maybe. Yeah, that could come into play with the next couple of chapters for sure. finding out about Modernia, or sorry, Marion, whichever you prefer. And then, obviously, you know, the meeting with Johan is going to happen. Realizing that Inherit was decimated because the commander did have, you know, his run-in with Inherit, of course. We had a very good moment with Haran where she was kind of training the commander, testing the commander to see if he was ready.
What a
Right?
shame.
That was a really good scene that I remember from the beginning. We are also going to have a catch up with Cecil to see what's been going on with the Pioneer Squad, right? That's another thing that we're more than likely going to experience. And then we may also get some like little side story of what happened with Little Raulio, or possibly the four beasts, and bringing the only one back to the Forge. Maybe a meetup of other characters that we're not expecting to meet up yet, possibly, but... And then, of course, the commander... We haven't met up with Anise, right? Not yet. Well, I mean, we kind of have, but on, like, opposing sides of things. But I feel like there's probably going to be some sort of follow-up with Anise. And explaining, like, why we haven't gotten the star version of her yet, right? Possibly. I guess I was wrong in my prediction for that battle. I'll follow with the masses yet again, and we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, got some interesting little tidbits of story coming up that we're gonna have to catch up on, right? He'll bring Marion to the Forge and restore her with his essence? Maybe? We don't need to bring her to the Forge to restore her with our essence, though, right? That's all I'm saying. We know what happens. What happens in the Forge stays in the Forge. I don't know. Yeah, well, yeah, we do need a core for the Forge to work properly, too, right? And I'm assuming that core was consumed in the production of the new Queen only one as well, right? The one that we had. Or wait, no, there wasn't a. Was there a core? Because it was a spare body, but I feel like there was a core in that spare body as well. Now, or am I crazy? I can't remember the exact details, but I know that obviously, you know, it was Rappy's discarded body. But was there a core? There was still a core in that body, right? Right? But even so, that body was still consumed, and I would assume that the core contained within that body was also consumed in the process of the birth of Only One, right? Oh, I remember Modernia got her core stolen because Lilith literally, like, ripped it out of her. So how are we going to repair Modernia with the Forge if there's no core? Because we would need... There has to be some sort of catalyst, right, for that to happen. Right? The Forge can restore her core, but how? Make a new one?
There's not a bomb inside or anything.
I'm missing a piece of the puzzle here. Because I'm fairly certain there was a core in that body, though, right?
Because I keep...
In Rappy's discarded body, the one that Leviathan stumbled upon, was it Leviathan or was it Ziz? The Forge can do anything that you need? Yeah, but you gotta have like a catalyst, right? There's gotta be, it's like alchemy. The law of equivalent exchange, okay? Yeah, I'm quoting Full Metal Alchemist. You gotta put the ingredients in for the Forge to work, right? You gotta have the materials.
And stay with you a little longer. Is that okay?
Right? So, how do we produce a core if we don't have the materials required for a core? Yeah, well, that's what I mean, right? So I mean, it's a possibility. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not saying that at all, right? Like it very well could happen. I have no idea. Obviously, we won't know until we know. But usually, core is it not rapture parts needed for a core? Or am I crazy for thinking that? Because I feel like rapture parts is what's required for a core. Maybe I'm misremembering things. I have no idea. But aren't like most NIKKE cores like rapture? Like, do they not derive from raptures? Am I like misremembering something? I have no idea. Anyway, we'll find that out eventually. I'm not going to dwell on it too long. Anything's possible, right? I have no idea what they're going to come up with, but we will find out when the story gets there, of course. But I definitely do feel like it's going to be very interesting to see where things go from here. And then maybe we will actually get to see the origins of like how a core is made, and maybe they will be able to restore her with the forge and our essence. That's the real key ingredient in all of this is the commander's essence that was extracted from his body. That's how you create life, with essence. Yep, good old essence. Whoops. But we'll see how things play out. And again, I'm not really sure. I don't know, but I really do have a strong feeling that we're going to have a follow-up with Liberalia more than anything, with the next two chapters that get added in. That's what I think is going to be like the main focal point. That, and of course, like the meeting of Commander and Johan after the call was sent out, right? Like those are two, I think, pretty well given. What's the word I'm looking at? Certainties. Those are definitely two certainties, for sure. But the commander finding out about Modernia, it's possible, maybe like towards the end of the event. I don't think it'll happen right away. I'll say that. I really don't think that that'll happen right away. I don't know. I should probably revise this wish list just to make sure that I have like good characters that I actually want in here. He will definitely be heartbroken. I don't know if he'll get pissed. Pissed is kind of a strong emotion. I mean, I think he'll be sad. I think he'll be sad. Do I want Mana in here or not? Is there anybody else better than Mana I should have here? Maybe I'll leave it there just in case, because I want to get the max limit break animation. These are all solid units. I actually don't need you in there anymore because I should have your treasure item now. Milk is probably better. Bready is probably better. Alice is probably better. Leona is really good for shotgun comp. Aid is definitely better. Rosanna is good for PvP. I will use Milk just because. I did already get through the hard mode ending. If you want to watch it, there's this really cool DVR function here on this where you can rewind if you want to see it. And if not, then you can always watch after the fact when the stream's over and all that good stuff too, right? But yes, I did. And I have a lot of thoughts. We've been discussing it. I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility he'll get mad. I think he'll be heartbroken or disappointed. But obviously, you know, he's going to do what he can in order to try to, like, bring her back, to save her, so on and so forth. Of course, you know, we had a lot of, like, previous partings with Marion that's been kind of, like, bittersweet as well, right? So, I mean, maybe he'll be a little numb to it now, too. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see how things go. We'll see. All in all, it's going to be good no matter what the case is, right? It's going to be a good play out. Do I want more copies of Tactical Upgrade Squad? I don't know. The arc failing this year That's an interesting question. Yeah, I could see it. I could see it because, like I was saying, right, I do feel like it kind of ties into the whole like surface reclamation mini game that we're going to be getting, right? So it kind of falls into it a little bit. Actually, I don't know. That's a loaded question. Like, it kind of falls into it, but at the same time, like, I feel like maybe we'll get enough resources on the surface in order to sustain it. I do think it's an inevitability because of the gigantic rapture core that it's using to, you know, provide power to the Ark. Like, I do eventually feel like it will fall, but I don't know. Maybe not this year. Maybe not this year. I'm going to backpedal on my response, and I'm going to say maybe not this year. I don't know what characters I want. Let's leave it as is for now. And we'll do 20 pulls and see if we can't get another copy of an SSR that I do not... Whoa! Holy crap, dude! Okay. I guess we have good luck today. One. Who is it?
Is Valorja around?
Oh, I was hoping it was going to be Pilgrim. Survey says, Vesti, I will take it, dude. I will take it. She is a solid unit, and I could definitely use a couple more copies of her. Next. Oh, we got really good luck. 2 SSRs back to back, baby. Yeah. 3 SSRs. Holy crap.
Your orders, please.
I should buy a lottery ticket.
Please.
Elysian again. No, wait, dude. This is Vesti again? Nope. Okay, we got another copy. Emma.
Your side again. Looking after you.
And Missilus. Cool.
They call me Trina.
I'll take a copy of Trina as well. So I think this is an indication that I should probably be focusing on my PvP building, right? If they're giving me another copy of Trina, probably, just maybe. But that was some good luck. And you guys were here for it, so thank you. I'm gonna credit the luck of those pulls to you. So thank you. The ones on top will at least stay underground, and maybe the rest of humanity. That's a possibility. I don't know if it'll be so quick though, right? Like, I feel things have definitely been deteriorating, right? We're seeing the food supplies. We're seeing a lot of like interruption from like, you know, people invading the Ark, and then the ACPU and everybody trying to deal with it with like a whole exotic thing. And then now, of course, you had like 6-0 throwing the crystals in there to interrupt the Ark as well. There's been a lot of like happenings recently that I'm sure the higher ups haven't been planning for. Of course, their reports have been kind of glossing over facts and keeping everything kind of like at bay for now.
I've taken one step closer to nature.
I feel like it's calmer than it should be.
We can take 2 steps forward.
But there's been a lot of holes that light's been shining through right now, right? A lot of cracks are starting to show, and people are picking up on this stuff. So I think the smart ones will probably migrate out, but the masses, the general public, probably not just yet. Until something major happens within the Ark. Obviously, you know, food shortage is kind of major, but they don't know that, right? Like, all these falsified reports are still kind of out there. They're still under the belief of these false pretenses that everything is fine, right? So why leave if you're not aware
stronger than this.
of all the underlying like problems? That's kind of where my mind's at with it. I don't know. I don't know if it'll be so quick. Like, I feel like this is going to be a gradual falling out. Again, that's just my own speculation. I have no idea. All of a sudden, you know, something might malfunction, and then chaos and panic, for all I know, it could be at any point in this year. But I feel like if Shift Up is showing us anything, 42 chapters to get to where we are right now in the story. Maybe not this year. Maybe not this year. Maybe. Especially if we're actually going to reclaim areas of the surface with this, again, whole new mini game that's going to be tied into things, then maybe some of those falsified reports may not be so falsified, right? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe Lilith discovers the Ark and then causes mass panic, and then maybe you're right, maybe the Ark falls. Because let's face it, as we know right now, we do not stand a chance against Lilith, okay? She made her power very clear to us. That queen is a force to be reckoned with, okay? So, who knows? But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of stuff that could happen, man. I would not rule anything out. Not right now. Not yet. Definitely would not rule it out. It could be the next patch. It could be 20 patches from now. It could be 2 years from now. Time will tell, but I'll be along for the ride. I'll tell you that. I will be here because if the story stays the way that it has been, I'm all for it, dude. I am here. I am here. And we've got some pretty cool characters and everything, right? But again, we did not see any teases of any characters that may be involved in like the next event or any of that stuff. There's been no mention of it. But again, I'm gonna keep it where I thought it was, which is I do truly believe that it's going to be Velvet for the Maid Cafe, right? Made for You, which I've been calling accidentally Cafe Sweetie, which is not the same at all. But Made for You, I feel like Velvet is going to be the next maid character that we get, or next character that we get in the next patch, possibly. Because Valentine's, again, usually coincides with the Maid Cafe or the Maid event, so... And hopefully we'll see a cool little mini game and not running around serving people like we have been, right? Possibly. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I have no idea. And again, I know that this is a short one, but I'm going to keep it short just because of the nature of this being a dedicated Goddess of Victory NIKKE video. But I did want to stream today. I was initially planning on having a little bit of a longer stream, but I've actually came up with a lot of other things that I need to do, recording videos for other franchises and games and so on and so forth. So we'll have another video out that I'm going to go and record now, and that'll be out maybe later today or tomorrow or something and all that good stuff. But I'll keep this one strictly NIKKE for the time being, and I'll keep it bite-sized so that way people can kind of come in and check it out, right? And then not have to feel like they're wasting 2 hours plus because it's a full stream, right? So just a nice little bite-sized stream today. And thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day as well. I really do appreciate you guys showing up for all this. And again, I know maybe I could have just did this as a video, but I was not expecting a bunch of trailers and so on and so forth to drop today. But there you go. There's a hard mode bonus scene and a little bit of a daily stream and a chat and everything. Right? This is a nice little catch-up. And you guys got to hear about my awesome day today at work and all the trials and tribulations that I have to go through. But anyways, again, thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. If you haven't already, please give the videos a thumbs up, and everything you're watching after the fact, and subscribe to the channel for more Goddess of Victory NIKKE content and all that good stuff. And then check back tomorrow because we've got lots of stuff to stream and more videos and so on and so forth on the horizon. A lot of stuff is going to be coming on this channel, okay? Stay tuned is what I'll say. I know that sounds ominous, but I promise you there is a lot coming. So again, thank you guys very much. As always, I appreciate it. You guys are the best. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.
Oh, you're abandoning me now that I've been rehabilitated? You should know better than that,